Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back once again. Good morning, business owners. It's Leon Street in the house. And today I'm talking about a topic that is mostly spoken about this time of year. So today is the 27th of December. And you already know it. New Year's resolutions are fast approaching and well on their way. And so today, I want to speak about New Year's resolutions, but in particular, I want to talk about them, I guess, with regards to the topic of how to go beyond New Year's resolutions and achieve more in life and business. And as I said, it's a topic that's a hot topic for a lot of people this time of year. I want to shed some light on some things to do with failures with New Year's resolutions and New Year's resolutions not working out, and how you can actually go beyond them and actually make things work for you in your life and business. So, you know, if New Year's resolutions have never worked for you before, I'm sure after what you're going to hear today and what you'll see is that actually there's a new approach you can take to New Year's resolutions in your life and business. So as always, let me deal with the formalities. If this is the first time you're watching me, guys, remember you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. We stream out live on Facebook and YouTube. But in particular, I'd love for you to support the YouTube channel. So go on over to leonstreet.com/YouTube, and you will be redirected to the YouTube channel where you can subscribe and click on the notification bell to be notified of all upcoming videos. And remember, there's a ton of videos on there already, so you know, go help yourself. Anyway, so let's get into this. If you do want help, remember, as always, I'm available, I'm approachable, and you can book in a time to have a chat with me or the team. Just go to leonstreet.com/1-to-1, book yourself in with a date and a time to have a chat, and we'll talk about how to take your business to the next level. So then the topic, the key topic of what I'm talking about, New Year's resolutions. Let's go into this. I've got a graphic on screen for those of you listening back on the podcast. And the graphic on screen is what are the top categories for New Year's resolutions in the US. I know it's the US and we broadcast to the UK and US, but these are the most recent stats. And I thought they'd be applicable because of what we're all going through right now with the pandemic and different things. And actually, when I was looking into the research around New Year's resolutions, and it was interesting to see the difference between what people have got as New Year's resolutions and priorities in 2020 going into 2021 compared to people in 2019 going into 2020. So obviously you can probably appreciate that a lot more people were focused on perhaps slightly different things. Health was still a big factor, but it wasn't, I don't believe it was number one from what I was looking at with the previous research. And what's interesting is, like I said, it's number one now, as you know, a health as the number one target for New Year's resolutions. Number two is self-improvement, which is actually amazing. You know, I was actually shocked when I saw that self-improvement, personal development. I just didn't think it would be that, you know, that high up there, but it shows consciously as a society, people want to get better. Because usually money is it's usually one or number two, yeah. And money comes in at number three this time around, and then you've got family as four, and then love, career, and then don't have one as, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh priority. But these are the categories, guys. I can see Sven's jumped on. His New Year's resolution is to stop procrastinating, but I'll wait until tomorrow to start. Yes, a lot of people do procrastinate. I've been there. So these are the top categories. So these are what people usually think about when it comes to New Year's resolutions, and in particular, not usually, but what they're thinking about for 2021. So this is a recent study right here in the back end of 2020. And if any of you guys want the research, you want the location, I've got the website addresses, which I can share with you guys. You know, just comment below and I'll make sure I put it in the comments on YouTube and then also Facebook. But anyway, let's move forward. This is interesting, guys. This is interesting. Look, a study by Richard Wiseman, 2007 study from the University of Bristol. Yes, that's in the UK, involving 3,000 people, showed that 88% of those who set New Year's resolutions fail. And this is what I want to talk about, guys, in particular. And I do have some solutions for you on how you can get past failure. But first, we must deal with the failure to know what it is we're failing with and why. So let's dig into this. So the following statistics, I'm going to share some more stats. I'm not going to bore you with stats. I'm going to get into some good stuff in a moment. But for those of you who appreciate the stats, that's why I've got them. The following shows how many resolutions are kept as time goes on in a new year. So past the first week, 75%. Past the first 2 weeks, 71%. After 1 month, 64% of resolutions are kept. After 6 months, 46% are kept. So you can see there's a massive drop-off rate. And for people, there's many number of reasons. I'm going to get into those in a moment, but I wanted to share this with you because I didn't want to just share 88% of people who set New Year's resolutions fail. Yeah, I want to kind of just give you some data so you have an understanding of, okay, New Year's resolutions. And look, historically, I remember, like, for me as a young kid anyway, teenager, and you're with your parents or your family, and now's the time to set New Year's resolutions. We're going to bring in the new year, blah blah blah. And you start thinking of like all the cool stuff that you can think of in the moment. But usually, what I found, and as I've developed over the years, personally developed, you start to realize that a lot of the New Year's resolutions come out of your ego, and they come from a place of in the moment. And you might think, well, that's cool, live for the now. But they come from, I guess, a place of not real deep connection to where you're going. Yeah. And as we go into these failures a little more, I want to share with you how, therefore, you can actually turn resolutions into something more powerful. So why don't resolutions work? So let's look at this. Number one, your vision isn't clear. Your vision for your life, your vision for your business, your vision for your family, your community. Yeah, you don't have a clear vision. So when New Year's resolutions are set, they're set from this place of not really being clear in the first place. And so when you look at it in that respect, people don't really understand what's the reason they get out of bed in the morning, why they do what they do. Yeah, what gets them to wake up on a Sunday morning after having a crazy evening last night with my little daughter. Yeah, which ended up being where me and my fiance had to go to hospital, that I wake up and still at 8:30 a.m. I deliver this live stream. You know what? I'm very clear on my vision. I'm very clear on what it is that I'm here for, which is to deliver the message that I have to help business owners create success, to understand what it takes through marketing, through communicating an effective message. That's why I'm here, guys. I'm very clear on what my vision is. And see, my vision doesn't wait for a new year to trigger it. It's something I'm already locked into, and my vision goes way beyond this year. Yeah. And I don't want to scare anybody who's thinking, whoa, like I can't even think past next week or today, never mind, 10, 20 years. But that's what I want to show you guys, is that your vision is the key. And some people refer to it as their purpose. Yeah. And so long as that you're clear on the purpose and why you get out of bed in the morning, and why you're doing what you're doing, like that's the thing that's going to keep you on track, not just for the New Year's resolutions, but for your life. And that's the thing that you're always going to be pulled back to, because it's like a burning thing within you. And don't get it twisted as well, guys. It's not something that you're just going to jump into and pick up straight away. This is something that develops over time, as you focus more and more on your purpose, your vision. And if you're not clear at the moment, I've got one tip for you. If you don't have a clear purpose with your life, just focus on serving and helping one person today, and then do the same tomorrow. Yeah, and just keep doing that, because eventually you're going to tap into the very thing, the very reason, the very kind of just the drive for why you get out of bed in the morning and do what you do, and why you're here. Yeah, why you're here on this planet. So this is number one. So what's the second reason why resolutions don't work? Well, if your vision isn't clear, obviously your goals won't be aligned to something that is there as your purpose, as your why, as your get out of bed. So your goals are kind of skewed. And usually what happens is your goals they're not focused. Good morning, Raf. Thanks for jumping on. Your goals come from a place of kind of ego, as I said, but more kind of logical constraints of the physical world. And so therefore you kind of think, oh, let me grow my business, or let me, even like, let me plan for a holiday for the family, right? That might be a New Year's resolution. Like, I'm going to take my family away on an amazing holiday. Well, that may be true. But you've got other things to consider. You might be considering, saving the money in the first place, knowing whether or not you'll be able to get to that destination, obviously in 2021, going through this pandemic and so on and so forth. And the point that I'm getting to here is that because your goals are not clear, again, it's going to lead you to failure, because the goals don't come from a place of vision. They come from a place of, what would be cool, but not really what's going to serve you, your family, your community, and just give you that deeper sense of purpose, right? And so when it comes to goals, there's a lot of research, and I've got a great friend as well, David Heiner, who speaks about, you know, achieving massive goals. Is that the approach to goals as well? And you know, this is when you're clear on what your goals are, because they're connected to your vision. But the approach people have to goals is that they don't really set targets. They don't put things into the calendar, and it's kind of like, I will just, you know, see what happens. You know, it will come to me, or, you know, I'm not really going to fix anything into my calendar because I just want it to happen by, I don't know, the power and mystery of some kind of cosmic energy or whatever, or, you know, other things which can be religion, your God. And that's all well and good, kind of putting your faith into that, but you know, in the physical world, in reality, and the constraints of this life and the opportunities of this life, they demand you to show up. So goals have to be something that, you know, align with what you're doing, your day to day, your weekly commitments to it, which are connected to your vision. So what's the third reason resolutions don't work? Well, the thing is, when you're not clear on your vision, your goals, you get overwhelmed. Yeah, and people become overwhelmed because they're like, like, I don't know where to start, don't know what to do. And, you know, again, this is just really leading you to a kind of an outcome of failure. Yeah. And overwhelm simply means that there's too much thoughts going into what has to be done rather than getting on with it. Yeah. And overwhelm it's a massive thing. It can really push you into a place, like Sven mentioned in the comments on YouTube, you know, procrastination. You know, overwhelm is when you're really blocked. You just don't know what to do next. And it's like, where do I start? And you go so much into the where and trying to figure out the how that you are in inertia. You don't move forward. So this is another reason why they don't work. Well, obviously, after feeling overwhelmed, you get discouraged. You're like, well, I set these resolutions. The goals are not working out. I feel overwhelmed. Maybe I should just quit. Yeah, and that it's a natural thing. If you look at it, it's like a downward spiral. And you know, feeling discouraged is it's okay if that has happened to you. You know, and like I said, I've got some solutions for you to change the outcome of your New Year's resolutions, or your approach to achieving things. Let's call it that, going into 2021. So what's another reason resolutions don't work? You're not ready to change. Yeah. And this is a real deep one. So let's say you've set your resolutions, but you set these resolutions by not being clear on your vision, your purpose, your why. And you set them without a deep connection to saying, you know, that's what I truly want. That's what I want beyond the limitations of my environment now. That's what I want beyond the limitations of my income or financial situation now. And you also say, that's what I want, regardless of what other people say is not possible for me. Yeah, because you may have people around you, naysayers, who say it's not possible. But the thing is, you're probably setting yourself up for failure with resolutions because you're not ready to change. You're not ready to face all of the naysayers, the distractions, the toxic people, the challenges of life, the financial pressures, your existing commitments, the things where you messed up with decisions from a few years ago that you're still paying the price for now and still coming out of. Yeah, those could be debts, those could be relationships. It can be many different things. But the thing is, you have to be ready to change, not change just like flippantly, but change as in your lifestyle, your life. So what's the sixth reason why they don't work? Well, the thing is, when you look at resolutions, and this is what I find, a lot of people jump on the bandwagon. So when I was a young teenager or kid and you're around family and friends and they're like, what's your New Year's resolution, Leon? And you're like, I don't know. Yeah. To ride my bike more, or to go to the gym. And when you look at it, things like that, when you're younger, like, you have these kind of flippant goals because you're like, you're not really clear on your vision, you're not really clear on your life, and that kind of manifests and kind of it snowballs into your adult life. Yes, you move from adolescence into adult life. And the thing is, like, we carry these kind of programs forward, and you're doing what everybody else does, or the majority does. You know, people, especially at New Year's, people will want to go on a diet, right? And it's the thing that, oh yeah, the people are doing, are you doing Slimming World, or you doing this diet, or the Atkins diet, or whatever? You're doing what everybody else is doing, but you're not doing or looking at what is it I need to fulfill for my life. Yeah, you're not looking at you. Yeah. So those are my 6 reasons why you're doing what everyone else is doing, and resolutions don't work. So let's look at some solutions for you guys, because I don't want it to seem like all doom and gloom, but I want to set yourself up for something bigger, something stronger. You see, here's a quote. All of us, every single year, we're a different person. I don't think we're the same person all our lives. That's Steven Spielberg. And so the reason why I wanted to share this quote is because New Year's resolutions are about change. They're about you evolving into the newer you. And, you know, there's the saying that you shouldn't really compete with other people. You should simply want to be or aim to be better than you were yesterday. And for me, resolutions, they connect to that part of us that wants to be better, that wants to do better. Yeah. And that's the huge appeal, which is amazing. That in itself right there is a great thing. But the thing is, the change and the want to do better and want to be better, most people don't come from this higher level of vision of purpose, and simply that's the missing link for a lot of people. They come out of, I just need to change something. And you may be in a situation, you may be in a very difficult situation, difficult relationship, you may be in a difficult financial situation, you may be going through some tough emotions right now, especially from lockdown, not being able to do the things socially that you were used to able to do. And there may be different things going on in your life, but you may only need to change one thing. But the one thing I would say to you is that if you can focus from inside this higher level of like, really, what am I here to deliver? Yeah, what am I here to do? Why should I wake up and get going in the morning? And I'm going to come back to a really great book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And I think if you can encapsulate, just having something to aim for that goes beyond just your immediate circumstances and gives you the ability to have hope and just to think bigger or think further, just think more than where you are right now, that's a stronger place to come from when it comes to your resolutions to go for something much bigger. So what's the answer? Let me dig into what's the answer, guys, because I've digged into why resolutions don't work and why people fail, and just shared a great quote from Steven Spielberg. Here it is. The answer is you must give yourself time to have self-reflection and review your vision and your goals. Yeah, most of us don't give ourselves, a minute, and I'll explain what I mean there. We come downstairs in the morning after we've, brushed our teeth, done blah 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 blah, and a lot of us, we don't meditate, or we don't pray if you're religious. And what happens is you get stuck in a cycle, or you get stuck in a program. Wake up, wash your face, brush your teeth, go downstairs, have some breakfast, switch on the TV, or go on social media, start scrolling. Maybe you've done the social media before while you were lying in bed as you were waking up. And you're stuck in this place of like this program, and you're not giving yourself space. And you know what the space is, guys? It's time to be quiet. It's time to consider what your thoughts are, consider what your feelings are. And some people might say, that's kind of bullshit, Leon. But I want to share with you that actually these are the moments that you can speak to yourself and ask yourself the obvious questions that aren't obvious when you've got Netflix going, social media going, YouTube going, and all these different distractions. You've got, your phone's pinging, people are sending you Merry Christmas, this, that, and the other. You're getting into conversations, you're getting into family arguments, you're getting into friend arguments, and this, that, and the other, and all that kind of bullshit of distraction in life. But you must give yourself time in your calendar to reflect, to review, what is it that I want in life? What is it that I want for me? What is it I want for my family, my partner, my wife, my husband, my children? What do I want to create? Yeah, what do I want to do in my business? What do I want to do with the relationships of family, friends, clients? What do I want to do for my community? And you start reflecting, you start looking at deeper things, and you start looking at the potential for you to do much more than perhaps you're doing right now. Yeah. If you're already clear on your vision, it just simply gives you the time to reset and refocus. Yeah. And when I say reset, I don't mean restart or start at the beginning. I simply mean reset to say, right, let's get back on track. It's almost like if you were using Google Maps on a journey, and there's a road that's blocked for whatever reason, and it resets the journey. So it reroutes you. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So here's another thing. Once you've done the reflection, look at what has worked in your past 12 months. Yeah. What has worked? Note down 3 things that worked in your life, 3 things that worked in your business, 3 things worked in your family, 3 things that have worked with time management, 3 things that have worked with your emotions, 3 things that have worked in your environment, work environment, home environment. Yeah. And you start reflecting with purpose. Yeah. This is what this is all about, guys. Then look at what 3 things didn't work. What didn't work in your life? What didn't work in your business? What 3 things didn't work with your family? What 3 things didn't work with your environment? What 3 things didn't work with your emotions? Yeah. And you start looking at these things. Yeah. And it's up to you to explore, these different areas. For instance, your life may be great at home, your life may be great in business, but perhaps, emotionally you feel challenged. And especially like, what has happened this past year, it's up to you to decide where you want to focus with what hasn't worked. You'll know yourself, because you'll feel it. You'll feel like, shit, like my business just didn't go well this year, or life at home, because everybody was at home because we're in lockdown and I couldn't get out. Like it's made things tense at home. But you'll know what hasn't worked, guys. And it's up to you to really focus on that. And the third thing is, what will you bring forward into 2021? Like, and it's important, because you'll have reflected on what your vision is. You'll have a clear idea on therefore what your goals are. But now you'll just double down on what worked, what didn't work, and what you will bring forward, meaning you'll leave the other stuff behind. Yeah. And this also means habits and doing things just because other people expect them of you. Yeah. This is the time where you kind of release the shackles of other people's expectations and place your own expectations on yourself, but those expectations really, when I say place your own expectations, I mean really focus down on what the vision is, because in reality, expectations and hitting some type of goal, achieving some type of resolution, on the journey of life, those things evolve. And so it's not a time for you to beat yourself up when they don't work out exactly as you planned, but perhaps they work out in a different way. Yeah. And in going for your vision, in going for your goals, in working on those resolutions, you will find yourself. Yeah. And the quote that I gave you earlier from Steven Spielberg, which is, we shouldn't really be the same person, or we aren't the same person, as we were last year or the year going forward. We should change. Change is part of us being human. And, expectations of the past should not be on your shoulders, and should not have a place for you to feel trapped and imprisoned to. Yeah. In achieving your goals, in achieving your vision, in achieving these resolutions that you want to achieve, it's about, being okay with what has come to pass. It's about being okay with having failed before. It's being okay with making decisions that didn't work out, being okay with having upset people, not because you meant to, just because how a situation, came about, or the results that happened. Going for what you want as a vision, and attaching goals to that vision is a far greater place to move forward with your life than simple resolutions. Yeah. And you'll find more fulfillment in life. You'll find meaning in love. You'll find meaning in your work, and you'll find meaning in the suffering and the challenge that you go through in going for that vision, guys. And if you want to know where I got that from, go check out the book, as I mentioned earlier, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. So guys, that's my share for today. Final quote that I want to leave you with, 27th of December. And, this whole live that I'm doing right now, it gives me the opportunity to reflect, like I shared with you guys. This is from Oprah Winfrey. Cheers to a new year and another chance for us to get it right. That's what I'm talking about, guys. It isn't about getting it right all the time. It's simply working through what you need to work through to even just understand what the journey is for you. Life, business, family, friends, environment, different things, and that's it. It's not feeling trapped by all of these different things, emotions, expectations, and whatever it is, and if you are feeling challenged right now, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like, why does it always happen to me? Or when I set goals or resolutions or blah, 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 it just never works out for me, just drop a message, drop a comment below this video. If you need to message me, you want to keep it a bit more private, send me a message. Just hit me up on all the usual platforms, Facebook, or just go to my website, leonstreet.com. But if you need some assistance and you want some help, or I guess the best question for me to answer this if you're interested. Would you be interested in, having a vision planning session run? I'd just do it live on Zoom. We'd probably spend a couple of hours together where we can start planning, life and business and making 2021 something of a greater success for you. If you'd be interested in that, just put vision planning as a comment below this video if you see it on YouTube or you see it on Facebook, and I'll look at arranging something. It will be a live session, live session we'll do on Zoom. And that's it, guys. That's it for today. Don't beat yourself up about New Year's resolutions. Focus by giving yourself some quiet time, some time alone from distractions and different things, to look at what your vision is, because you'll achieve far greater success, far greater results, and you'll find far greater meaning in everything that you do in your life. So moving forward, remember, if you do want to help growing your business, go to leonstreet.com/1-to-1. Book yourself in for a marketing strategy call. Have a chat with me. And together we'll work out over a 30-minute call of how you can go to the next level with the right strategy, the right marketing message, and the right products and services so that you can make a great profit. Next step, guys. Remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to leonstreet.com/YouTube and you will be redirected to the YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. It has been another pleasure for me to deliver this great content for you. And I say great content because I know it is, because this is the stuff that even as I'm sharing with you guys, I find good myself. I'm like, wow, great reminder. And, what I want for you is going into the new year, just be clear on what you truly want. Yeah. Be clear, because you will find what it is that you're looking for when you focus on what you truly want. And on that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and enjoy the rest of your holidays. Wherever you are in the world, take care. Bye-bye.